You know, there's an old saying that goes, you are what you eat. Okay, everybody's heard that. But today I want to discuss really, you are what you think. Because attitude is profoundly important when you're giving your studies to any single examination from high school through medical school and law school. And also, not only is it important for that, but it could really establish whether you're going to be successful or not. Okay. Now, I never use the word fail. Okay. I don't like the word fail, and I think you ought to eliminate it from your vocabulary. All right. The word fail has such a negative connotation. It puts negative messages into your head from the universe. So get rid of it. If you're taking an examination from now on, today, you need to say, when I pass the exam, period. I'm going to pass this exam. So you're going to take the negative out and you're going to put the positive in to your brain cells and you're going to be just fine. Now, if anybody has ever read the book Dune by Frank Herbert, it's good reading. The first book. The rest of the book, he gets the little books that he put out on the Dune series is weird. But the first one is good. Not only will it teach you a little bit about climate change and ecology, etc., from 30 or 35 years ago, he introduces you to a character, a mystical set of nuns who were warrior nuns. The Bene Gesserit, they're called. And they had a saying, fear is a mind killer. And if you stop and think about that, fear is a mind killer. It locks your brain up. That's the biggest problem I see, fear/anxiety going into any test-taking situation. I kind of like the term that I use for my students, intellectually aggressive. I think you need to be intellectually aggressive prior to and leading up to any examination that you're taking. I think it's profoundly important, okay? Being from the inner city, I grew up in Lawrence, Massachusetts, a very tough urban city. As I said to you before, this was the way of life there, okay? It was either eat or be eaten. So I learned a long time ago, I'd rather eat than get eaten, all right? But I know this, that day of the examination, you need to be quietly confident / borderline aggressive even before you get into the examination room, okay? When you go to the exam that day, if you're a repeater on any examination, bring that letter with you that told you that you were not successful the first time. Bring it with you. You should be using that letter, by the way, as a positive throughout your studies. Put it on your desk. And then when you get tired at night and you're falling asleep studying, look at the note. Anyways, bring that letter with you to the examination. Okay? And go to the men's room or ladies' room right before the examination. Open that letter up. Okay? Read it one last time. And then rip it up and say, screw you, and then throw it away, and then you go into the examination. Now, if you ever notice in any type of exam, there are two groups of students, okay, before the doors open up. There's one group of student that's almost frothing at the mouth. You know, they're right by the door, they're kind of like aggressive, they're pacing, it's almost like they're looking for a fight, okay? They know that they've studied, they just got to smash this examination. That's one group. And they're right by the door. And then there's another group. They're in the back. They're praying that the doors never open. So I want to ask you something from an intellectual and emotional point of view. Who's got the better chances of passing that examination? You know, that other old saying is important as well. If you think you can, you're going to do it. If you think you can do it, you're going to do it. If you think you cannot do it, you're correct. So which is your mindset? You need to get that mindset in your head. And then when the examination comes, work on your time management skills, as I said to you. For those taking the multi-state bar examination, it's a 9-question per 15-minute pace. If it's an essay, you got to structure your time accordingly. But if a question throws you, just say, kiss my ass, and then pick a letter. Pick your favorite letter. By the way, I don't believe in skipping over questions, because I think if you skip over a question, what happens is as you're proceeding to the next question, your mind, or a portion of your mind, is thinking about that question that you skipped over, and it may distract you just a bit. Okay, so just go through them. Something you don't need to get 100 on the multi-state bar examination. You don't need to get 100. That's for sure. How about this? On the 200 question multi-state bar examination, can you learn enough law to get 40 to 45 questions correct out of 200? 40 to 45 questions. That's not too much, is it? 40 to on the other 160 questions to 165 questions, can you learn enough law to get 50% of those questions right if you guess? If you get it down to 2 answers and you guess. So let me do the math. 160 questions, you're going to guess once you've gotten it down to 2. That's 80 questions, according to statistics, that you're going to get right. 80 questions. And then you're going to nail 45 questions. 45 questions plus 160 questions is what? Check that. 45 questions plus 80 questions is 125 correct that you're going to get. That's a raw score. Throw on your scale and you're going to be, you're going to be in nirvana, as they say. So learn enough law to get 40 questions right. If you want to learn enough law to get 50 questions right out of 200, you're there, okay? And the other thing is, let's forget about percentages. When you're going through the questions, forget about what your percentages are. Who cares? It's the first time you're doing them. Afterwards, you're going to see your knowledge expanding, and obviously your percentages are going to get up there. That's what you want to do. Percentages don't mean anything when you're studying. You're using those questions to learn. Don't forget that. Don't say, oh my God, I'm getting 45% right, I'm going to flunk the bar. Screw that. Don't do that, okay? Just say, thank you very much. I just learned some law. Write it down what you got wrong. And that's it. That's how you want to do it, okay? And then finally, the last thing is, at the break. You have a break, lunchtime break, usually have an hour break. Don't talk to anybody about the exam. I mean, if you go up to, some of your pals saying, how did you do on the exam? And then one group says, wow, that was easy. You're like, what? In your head, you're saying, what? My test was hard. Well, you're probably correct, because on the examination, there are 2 tests. There are a morning test and an afternoon test. You may have gotten the harder of the 2, okay? And he may have gotten the easier one. So don't talk to anybody. Take a break. Don't do anything, okay? Just become confident, quietly confident. You have one more 3-hour session to go before that's it. And once that exam is over, let it go. There's no need for you to stress about it for months afterwards, okay? If it's time for you to pass this examination, you're going to pass this examination, period, end of sentence. I believe in the universe. That's how I feel. And I've told thousands of students the same thing. Take the test, give it your best shot, and then let it go, move on with the rest of your life. Who was it? It was, who was the fellow that said, sometimes you have to fight it out or perish? William Lewis Stevenson, it is who it was. Sometimes you have to fight it out or perish. And if that's the case, why not now where I stand? So take that test, be intellectually aggressive, shrug off the bad ones, let it go afterwards, and that's the mental preparation you're going to need for this examination. Okay? Ciao.